Hi, this is Gary with Aldan American. Today we've got this 70 Grand Prix in. It's my nephew Trent. His grandmother bought the car brand new, and I've known the car since his parents were dating and grandma was still driving it. Can you tell us a little bit about the car, Trent?
Absolutely. So my grandma bought it brand new in 1970. I've known the car my whole life, and when I was just about 4 years old, my dad actually promised the car to me. So I've loved this car, and when I was in high school, I got to drive the car to school. It's just been a passion project of mine. I finally got it back over to my house a few months ago, and my dad, in about 2011 or so, me and him started working on the engine, just doing little tinkering projects here and there, and we're ready to get the car back on the road again. So very excited to be working with Aldan American to get this car in tip-top shape. Parts for this car are few and far between, but thanks to companies like Aldan, we're able to get this car back on the road.
The first thing that we already have done is before we put it in the air, we check the ride height on all four corners. And as we can see by looking at the car before, the car was crooked, it wasn't very straight. We knew that, but now we can see how crooked the car was. Probably has worn out springs, front, rear, not really sure where. But let's get started, let's get it apart, let's get our hands dirty, let's have some fun.
Let's do it.
So we're now going to show you the coilover kit we're going to install on the 70 Grand Prix. So this is the A-arms, upper and lower, and what's really nice about them is it's dedicated as a coilover with the lower mount that bolts directly to the shock. So it doesn't use the T-bar style like the original control arm would use. And we're also doing the double adjustable shocks. So what's nice about this is it's got the compression adjuster at the bottom. There's 6 positions. So whatever number is at the 12 o'clock position, that is what the setting is. So it goes 1 through 6, 1 being the softest, 6 being the most firm. On the top side, we have our knob, and this is the rebound side. So there's 20 points of adjustment on the rebound knob. And so what I do on my initial setup is I always go full firm, and then I back it off 10 clicks, and that puts it in the middle of the travel. And that's a great place to start, to go out and drive the car and see how it works. The other thing we have is our coil springs. So it's a 2.5-inch inside diameter spring, so it fits on the coilover spring seat, and it has the original style upper pocket to fit in the frame, just like the stock coil did. So you're carrying the load on the upper pocket and the lower brackets that are on the A-arm. We also include with this kit the thrust bearings. And so the thrust bearings go between the spring and the spring seat, and it makes it a lot easier to adjust your ride height. And to adjust our ride height, we have our spanner wrench. And so the spanner wrench is going to fit into our notches, and as you rotate the spring seat up will raise the car, down will lower the car. And this is where the thrust bearings will fit right here. What I want to do now is take my thrust bearings, and the thrust bearings are a bearing steel, so they're not plated. And what I do is take and put some red grease on them. Just has to be some sort of like a heavy wheel bearing type grease. And then we're going to put our thrust bearing on. We also are going to take and put a little bit of the copper anti-seize, and I like to put a little bit above the spring seat. So as we adjust our spring up, it'll draw the anti-seize into our spring seat. As you can see in the video, we've already done our installation on our front suspension and our rear coilover shocks. It is now 8 months later. We've done a few upgrades to the car, Trent, can you tell us a little bit about your experience over the last 8 months of driving the car, cruising, and having some fun with it finally?
Absolutely. So, you know, after getting the complete Aldan upgrade for the coilover suspension, the car is riding amazing. And I've been loving driving it, put a ton of miles on it. It's just a massive upgrade to what I had, you know, kind of the original suspension going on. And we decided now that that was done, it was time to make some other big improvements to the car as well.
Yep.
So we're here to talk you through some of the changes we've made since then.
We put an 1.125" sway bar on the car. It had a smaller sway bar, and this particular sway bar actually was something that I had that was a takeoff for another one of my projects. We've done the stainless soft brake lines for the brakes. We also replumbed the entire system. So from the master cylinder to the brake calipers, the wheel cylinders, it's all new stainless steel hard lines. We got that from Inline Tube. It was a great kit. And one of the things that we did is we replaced and put the combination valve and the lines for a 71 Grand Prix, because we knew that was a simpler system without that little, and I'm not sure if it's a proportioning valve, if it's a residual valve, but because other people were having issues with it, we decided to eliminate it.
Yeah, just a really simple bypass, and you know, the brakes are working great now. So
Yep.
really good upgrade, and so nice to have all of that fresh.
Yeah. And then we also did the Edelbrock trailing arms,
We did.
and that was another out of my parts bin. And we also wanted to put a rear sway bar on it. And again, went to my parts bin, and I had a sway bar, and I had the trailing arms. So what did we do?
We put them on.
We put them on.
Yeah.
How was the improvement on doing the sway bar from no sway bar?
It's like a world of difference. The car went from, you know, sloppy to now it actually can turn a corner pretty well. So.
Right. And then you've also been playing around a little bit with the adjusting on the double adjustable shocks.
Exactly.
And I know that we've had some conversations on that. And what is your take on being able to adjust the shocks?
Oh, I love the ability to adjust them. I think that we have it dialed in perfectly right now.
Yep.
I like it a little bit on the firm side. I think that that's really what makes this car, you know, perform a little bit more like a modern car. I didn't like how floaty it was.
And also the other thing that was pretty cool, and again, I instigated it, the wheel choice.
Oh yeah, we've got some torque thrusts on the car now, which are major improvement. No more
Yeah.
rusty Rally 2s.
Well, you had the 14-inch Rally 2s.
Yep.
And you had the BFGs on it, I think we figured were about 12 years old.
Yeah.
So we were out cruising around, and kind of a funny story, I had been on the phone, I'm texting with my buddy Alan, and I said, hey Alan, do you still have the torque thrusts that came off of your Buick? And Alan said, yeah, you were gonna come get them things like 2 years ago because you wanted them. And I says, well, I still want them, but I don't want them for me. I says, we're gonna put them on Trent's car. So we kind of cruised over. You thought it was just another smoking and joking BS session with Alan, and what was there waiting for you?
Some nice wheels. So little did I know that my car would get new wheels that day.
Yeah, we got new wheels, and Alan basically said, you know, Trent, I've known you since you were a little kid. He gave them to him.
Yeah. We've got a new stainless steel exhaust from Pipes.
We did the Pipes exhaust.
So it's a little bit lower, a little bit louder.
Yes. Well, why did we have to put the exhaust on it?
Oh, we had some holes in the exhaust that were about that big around, so you know, it was time to upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. So we've done a lot of upgrades to the car.
Yes.
And you and your dad had put a little floor pan section under the driver's footwell.
Yeah.
So now that you put a floor pan in it,
Yeah.
you then had to do the hush mat.
Yeah.
Then you had to do new carpet.
Yep, exactly.
So
new interior practically.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you had to do a steering wheel.
Yep.
You said, I gotta have the sports steering wheel. So as you can see, we do offer a lot of products for the GM A-body cars, the Chevelles, the GTOs, the Grand Prix, the Monte Carlos, the Oldsmobile Cutlasses. And we do have a lot of options available for you. Whether we do just a coilover kit, we do the A-arms, top and bottom, sway bars. There's a lot of stuff that we offer. For more information, check us out, aldanamerican.com.